Okay, so last night I was at a wedding and I got asked, what do I do for a living? And you can show people a picture, but they just, picture just doesn't cut it. You kind of have to see what this machine actually does. So I'm going to show you some hand-guided quilting, which means I am not going to engage the computer at all. I am just moving the machine manually. And I'm actually working on my customer's quilt. This is not mine. We're going to have Tim back up a little bit so you can see my customer made a quilt top, and here is the top. Then she brings it to me, and she brings a backing fabric, which you can see here, and it's rolled up on the take-up bar. So this is her backing. I've added a layer of batting. It's kind of like a padded, so that it'll give her applique some dimension. And all quilts have batting in them. They're usually 3 layers or more. So I'm going to show you how my machine works. It's on a carriage system, so it rolls on a X and a Y axis. So it sits on a carriage of wheels, and then there's a track that the carriage has wheels, so we can go back and forth. And then in order to get it to go into curves, I have to push it into that direction. So I have it actually on a stitch regulated mode, so you'll see that I'm just actually pushing the machine along. This is custom quilting. I'm outlining her applique just manually. It's extremely time consuming. At the moment I'm using invisible thread because if I did happen to, I'm going to come in here and highlight this petal. So you can see how slow I'm going. So custom quilting is not inexpensive to do. But when you've spent probably a year, I imagine this lady spent at least 18 months needle turning this applique all by hand. So then you would not want to, you certainly would not want to come over and just quilt an all over computerized pattern over the top of it. She spent so much time doing incredible work that you would need to outline it and then backfill it. I'm going to have Tim hand me the camera, so there'll be a little bit of a jiggle here. Thanks, Tim. And turn that light out for me, would you? This is one block that I did get done. I don't know if you can see it, but I've come in here. So I did a backfill behind the applique. What that does is it pushes the batting down. I've also added a feather around the frame, that black frame she made. So that's a little bit of what hand guiding looks like. There's no computer involved. I'm going to rotate the camera. Well, actually, maybe I can just flip it up. And I'm going to show you a piece that's hanging on my back wall. This is a piece that I made, and I don't know if I can... Oh. So in the background is the quilting that I did. This was hand-guided as well. And when I did my applique and I quilted it, I just outlined it again. So that's a little bit about how this machine works. I'll make another video when I put a project on here that'll be an all over computerized and show you how that works too.